Happy New Day again. So this is video number 3 for today. I've been out moving around, and I guess this is just one of those days where I have some things to share. But I did the video about, your fake friends and family members and people disappointing you. And then I talked about the video of the guy who had the woman on the leash. And, really just responding to the collective's reactions, emotional reactions to that video. And then a lot of people that have been expressing their discomfort and dissatisfaction with people who are fake and phony in their lives. One of the things that I personally pay attention to as I go through my own healing and just identifying things that no longer serve me in my consciousness and programs and beliefs and all of that. When I find myself triggered by something or a person, I immediately ask myself, why am I feeling uncomfortable? Why am I feeling frustrated or dissatisfied or agitated or anything that feels on a lower vibration, and it's triggered by something from the outside? I know that it's really inside of me. Whatever that thing on the outside is, I know that it's pressing a certain button to get my attention and to let me know that there's something still in here, in my mind, stored in my cells, in my body, that needs to be addressed. So, for instance, if you're someone who is feeling let down by other people, your friends and your family members, and you're at the point to where, you're angry and just very unhappy with them, ask yourself, why is their behavior or their lack of action affecting me to this level? Ask yourself, when it comes to being angry at the guy with the woman on the leash, why is this situation triggering me? Ask yourself, if you get angry and upset that a black man gets shot by a white cop, ask yourself, why? Why am I responding in the way that I am with this outside situation that I can't control? And it's something that I wouldn't even be thinking about unless it showed up in my reality. Like, for the people that are real big on like Black Lives Matter and that flip out, when there's another black person killed by a white cop and all of that, a lot of those people only focus on it when it happens. But when the situation has died down, they're not even thinking about Black Lives Matter or thinking about that black person that lost their life to this white cop. It's only when it's brought up in the news or, something like that, that it triggers people to respond. and then it's over. So what's going on with inside of you to have these responses when you're triggered by these outside situations? Because a lot of times, if it's not something that's consistently on your mind, it really isn't that situation. So for the people that are mad when they saw the video of the man with the woman on a leash, after you see that video and you've expressed your anger towards it, it's over. And you're on to something else. You're no longer thinking about it until you see it again or until somebody brings it up. So when it comes to your friends who you feel are fake, or your family members who don't come through for you, what is making you feel so dissatisfied towards them when they do something or don't do something that you expect them to do? Because it could be something that deals with your fear of abandonment, or it could be the program of family is supposed to look out for each other, or friends are supposed to be there for each other, or loyalty, or something that more than likely you were taught by someone else. You were programmed by someone else. Because what I'm learning within my own journey is that my values and morals are based on my programming and based on my level of consciousness. And there are things that I used to think were my values and morals that no longer are. I've recognized that things that I used to feel were important to me no longer are. So I have been able to identify certain programs that came from somebody else that I took in as my own and applied them to my life. But the more that I get into my own energy and get anchored and centered within myself, I realize that, oh, I don't really care about certain things like how I thought I did. So all of these outside events and relationships that we have with others, they all have lessons that can teach us about where we're at as individuals. And when you start to see what you really feel and what is really correct for you, then you can look at those outside situations and see them as teachers and not something that should be interrupting your flow and your frequency and your vibration as you continue your journey of self-empowerment. So if you feel that as a friend or as a family member, if you feel that reciprocity is important for you, if you do something for someone, you feel that you should receive an equal exchange of energy in return, and that's something that you have identified as how you want to be as an individual to others, then if you have a friend or a family member that shows you that that's not a part of their value or moral system, then you can look at that as, oh, okay, I realize that this person has shown me the opposite of what I feel is correct for myself, for me to see what I don't want to be a part of, or what I don't want to, who I don't want to have a connection or a relationship with. And there's nothing wrong with that, because like I said in the previous video, you have the right to change your mind. You have the right to move and flow with each moment. And each moment is something different. So you have the right to be different. You have the right to say, okay, I did that. And I realized that it didn't give me the level of satisfaction that I know that I can get through doing something different. So now I choose to do something different and leave that behind. And for what you used to do and the people and situations that were connected to what you're leaving behind, those aspects of that reality will dissolve. And when you find yourself in conflict or feeling negative about something, it may very well be an indication that it's time for you to identify that block within you, bring it to the forefront and clear it so that you can move on to something better and something that is more in alignment and more in harmony with who you are. So emotional reactions and responses are fine because we're all human. So we're going to feel emotions. We're going to have times to where our feelings get hurt and to where we get angry and to where we may feel like we want to hurt somebody. But are you going to experience those things and let them take over you to where you're outside of your lane and you're operating in a more destructive way towards yourself and others? Or are you going to recognize that as a human, you have the right to feel what you feel? And the more grounded and anchored route is to acknowledge it, accept it, and learn from it and see how it can take you to the next level within your life. So I felt the need to share this aspect of information or perspective in regards to the last two videos. And it's just something to consider, something to think about. As always, whenever you're listening to a person, regardless of who it is, pay attention to how you feel. Don't just listen to people that you like and take in everything that they say, because everything that they say may not be correct for you. So for you, the viewer, it doesn't matter how many videos you like or dislike of mine. If you're listening to what I'm saying, don't just take it in without feeling if it resonates with you, because that's what's important. It's about what's your truth, not what's my truth or anybody else's truth. What feels right for you? What message is for you to hear to help you understand yourself better? Okay? So I think that's all I have for this one. But thank you again for tuning in and watching. And if I have anything else to run my mouth about, I most definitely will. Free your mind to shine. Until next time.